Well folks, it's 10 o'clock in the morning here, a couple of hours after Tanks for the Memories went to air, and I accidentally erased my initial reaction when I was just teary, which you probably would have not liked anyway. I mean, it was true emotion, but we thought it was stupid, and I've had a lot of interruptions trying to record this Afterthought perspective. Now, you normally would see blog post, audio description video, then this. I'm going to reverse it around here a little bit because I just want to cover an issue, and apologies if I go off my screen here because I've been going off the track trying to record this, and it's not been going right. In fact, I'm still a little teary and a bit upset, so bear with me. This morning, when Tanks for the Memories went to air, I thought it was just going to be another run-of-the-mill slice of life episode. Tanks hibernation, not a big deal. But then, half to 3/4 away during the episode, Fluttershy takes the dagger, well, not physically, I mean it's still a G-rated show, and drills it right into Dashie's heart. And then you see Rainbow Dash crying her eyes out. This is something I would never ever would discuss. An issue that would never have been covered on children's television today. The issue of death, grievance and acceptance. I never thought I'd be recording this video. I never thought I would be talking about this issue. Not in a million years. We see Rainbow Dash. In fact, I saw Rainbow Dash in the live screening this morning. She was lying on her bed, defeated, depressed, and pretty much almost in tears. You could almost see she was going to cry. And how uncertain she was for the future. Now, does that ring a bell to you? Because that's how I felt. As I said in my From the Exec blog post, which you can check down in the video description if you're on the From the Exec website, check it out. Check it out and read along. Rainbow Dash tried everything in her power, in her path, to stop winter from coming to Equestria, even going as far as blowing up the weather factory in a native Cloudstale. But it wasn't to be. She was defeated in her efforts to prevent Tank from hibernating. And as I said before, after all of that, we come to the show and to the bit. We go from fun and light-hearted to dead serious. We saw Rainbow Dash break down in tears and cry. And this is from a pony who said that she didn't need to see anyone cry because she's awesome. Well, that all changed. They broke her. And it broke me as well. Now, I didn't know this at the time when the episode went to air. But after it was all finished, after I tweeted that I was going to put my perspective and my blog thoughts at a later date, which was later this morning, which post is now available to view, I turned the lights out, I shut the computers down, and I went to bed. But then I started to cry. Not like heavy crying, but tears started to run down my eyes. I couldn't even sleep for the life of me, and I did record that video, but unfortunately I had to wipe it because it was unsuitable. I was even holding a Fluttershy fluffy, but I couldn't just make the tears stop. It wasn't for Tank and the hibernation. But I finally had the sudden realisation of what Larson was trying to say in that tweet just before the episode aired. The show staff did the impossible. They went there. They covered the issue of death and grievance. No other show did that, apart from Sesame Street in 1983 with Mr. Hooper, and that was 2 years before I was born. This is an issue that I all know too well, and I've experienced in my lifetime 3 times. I've been through hell. I've been through high water. I've almost lost my job. I almost lost my friends. I almost gave up on life in general. I lost my nan, my pop, and my grandma in a 5 to 6 year period. All of them were influential figures in my life, but my nan was the most inspirational. She gave me that spark of life to keep going whenever things were really, really bad. When she died in 2009, a little piece of me died along with it. I was devastated when she passed away, and that's the honest truth. Although you didn't see the actual video at that time because, after all, upload speeds were still a little bit horrible back then. I mean, ADSL technology wasn't up to scratch in this town, so I couldn't record my initial reactions to it. But at the time my nan died, I wasn't ready to say goodbye. Rainbow Dash did the exact same thing with Tank. She didn't want him to hibernate. It's just as I didn't want to say goodbye to my nan and finally let go. She did the same exact things that I did. I went through hell, I came off the rails, and I had to get help. She did the same exact thing as me. The death of someone, especially a close family member or relative, is very difficult to understand or even comprehend. Now, I didn't know this at the time after seeing the episode, but after seeing Rainbow Dash in the same situation, it broke my heart. It made me cry. It brought back the painful memories of the past. And I could easily relate to what she was going through. Not many cartoons or an animated series go in that direction. And you've got to get, as I said, you've got to give credit to the show staff for doing this. And it was only a matter of time before the My Little Pony brand, a long-standing brand for 30 years, did what Don Bluth, Disney, and several countless others have done before them. And that is tackle this issue without sugarcoating or even bringing the sweetened truth. This was heartbreaking for me. And what was more heartbreaking was the closure scene. The closure scene, as I will call the end of the episode. After a lengthy grieving session, you had Dashie, you had Rarity, you had Pinky, you had Fluttershy, all in trying to comfort Rainbow Dash. And then you go to the most important thing. Closure and acceptance. The main six and Tank were ready to say goodbye. But little did I know at the time when I watched the episode for the first time that it was about to happen. After some dialogue and a few parting words, Rainbow Dash just lets Tank into the wilderness. And then he digs his hole and covers the earth. And then that was it. It was over. Not just for Rainbow Dash, but for myself. When Tank dug the hole, I took that chance to properly say goodbye to the three people who were inspirational in my life. And after 6 long and painful years, I'm ready to move on and start a fresh chapter. And you can easily guess Rainbow Dash will be doing the same. So in summary, I know I'm going to ramble on a little bit and a lot of things are going to be repeated in the audio description video. This episode really ripped me. It put me through the ringer. I don't know what happened, but this episode really, really touched a lot of nerves and a lot of feelings. And bar none. We've had anxiety covered this season. We've had controversial issues, and now for death and grievance to be covered in that particular episode. It still breaks my heart to realise that what Rainbow Dash went through is what not only myself have gone through, but countless others as well. I mean, I can name hundreds of people here, but unfortunately YouTube partner policies prevent me. They are in the same boat. They're all in the same class, in the same group. We've lost someone close, and we haven't had a chance to say goodbye properly. This episode really did it for me. I mean, all it took was just Rainbow Dash to cry for me to realise it's time to move on, start fresh, and begin a new chapter. And that, it's tough. It's pretty tough, and it's still going to be. But in the end, as I say, life goes on.